Yeah, good morning and welcome again to Summit. It's the last day in the month of August, and we thank God for that. Good to be with you again today. My name is Jumoke Michaels. Banji.
Jumoke, good morning.
Good morning.
I usually ask, how was your weekend?
It was great.
Mine was also splendid. Thank God we are alive, safe, and we are kicking. Yeah. It's a fresh edition of our program Summit. Jumoke, incidentally, today, the last day of this month, is the day that the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, will know his fate, whether he will continue as governor of Kogi State or not. Supreme Court rules today on the last election that brought him to the office. There have been so much contention, controversy over the circumstances by which he emerged. So the Supreme Court is going to rule today. So nobody knows where the pendulum will swing. Yeah. But we wish the best candidate to actually emerge at the end of the day. Yeah. My name is Banji Busari. Good to be here.
All right, so when we talk about elections, we usually focus on the federal elections, state elections, local government elections. But we do not beam our searchlight on elections coming from the unions, and a lot is also happening in those particular associations, yes,
unions, organizations, societies, and all that. Particularly those who actually profess to be democratic institutions. We have NLs, we have TUC, we have several organizations that actually pride themselves as democratic institutions. But the focus for us on this program today, we want to actually probe how democratic are the so-called democratic institutions, civil societies, trade societies, trade unions, organizations, and all that. That's our focus of today's edition of the program.
And then to be able to do that aptly, we have some representatives from the National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees, Nigeria. So they will be coming on the program to tell us this morning on the processes to their elections, the challenges to their elections, and the prospects. How democratic really is their election. So that's what we'll be looking at this morning. And then for the later part of the program, we have a package we'll be showing to you of the birthday of one of our friends, Pastor Faith Olumuyiwa, her 50th birthday. So we'll be closing the program with that package. So it promises to be a very, very interesting and informative edition of Summit. We'd like you to sit back. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. The program is Summit. And like I said earlier, we are beaming our searchlight on one of the unions in Nigeria, and that's the National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees Nigeria. And we are being joined by Comrade Bamidele Busari, the General Secretary of this association. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. We also have Comrade Peter Onoja. He's the National Signing Trustee of the association. Mr. Onoja, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
I know you wouldn't be here if it's not that there's a burning issue in your association. All right, so let's take it from here. Now, the association comprises of people from the food, beverages, and tobacco employees of organizations. Now, we'll start from the General Secretary of the organization. What are the issues? What are the burning issues? What's the burning issue that has made you to come out openly this morning?
The burning issue is that, thank you very much. The burning issue is that there is a crack in the house because somebody is trying to elongate the security office. It's trying to usurp the power of the Constitution as specifically stated. The Constitution says that democratically, every officers of the union who are elected into office should spend 4 years. After 4 years, then you have to conduct another elections. After 4 years, they are not trying to conduct another election. So they are trying to extend the tenure, which is alien to our Constitution. And some people are now trying to back them up in illegality, and which we believe as a democratic institution is supposed not to be so. So if we are trying to pin down government on some of the excesses as a democratic institution, then we're supposed to be holding our own house and also relied on the constitutions that guided us and that bind us together as a trading organization.
All right, now you have a president who has served 4 years, 4 terms.
3
or
terms.
3 terms.
Yes.
He has served
As
3
president.
terms as president
Yes.
already. Now, in your constitution, is it viable? Is it right that he has served 3 terms? Why, or what does the constitution say really about this kind of issues? Mr. Onoja.
Yeah, our constitution is very, very clear. You know, yeah, we have a lacuna in our constitutions. What is the lacuna? The lacuna did not put a tenure limit. What I mean by tenure limit is maybe when you contest 2 times, you are not allowed to contest like the Constitution of Nigeria. Constitution of Nigeria, you know, president cannot contest more than 2 times.
2 terms, yes.
If you go to Nigerian Labour Congress, which we are affiliated to, if you contest after 2 tenure, you don't contest. But because our own, there is an opening, nobody is saying he cannot contest. What we are saying, the constitution mandatory that every 4 years, even precisely at the month of November, you must hold election. If you win, people support you. So in the area where you don't want to hold election, you want to say, you call it emergency delegate, the agenda is just for the purpose of tenure elongation. You understand? That is why people are saying no. If you want to contest for 4th time, contest. People, if they vote for you, everybody will support you. Nobody is against it, nobody is quarreling with it. But what we are quarreling is for you to circumvent the power of that constitution to yourself.
All right, now, so he has served 3 terms.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the constitution stopping him from going ahead to a 4th
No,
term.
not
But that there must be an election.
Yeah.
All right, so what's stopping the election now?
What is stopping the election is that they are not trying to organize election. What they are trying to do is to bring people together.
The election was supposed to be this year 2020.
This year 2020.
What month?
It's supposed to be November, according to the Constitution.
November, all right.
Yes,
Okay.
Constitution specifically says November, every 4 years. But now they are not trying to hold election. They want to elongate the power. They call people together to come and say yes or no, we give you a 2 years extension, which is contrary to our Constitution. And that's just what we are saying, that okay, if you want to do it, nobody is saying you should not go for another election. Let us hold election. If you are so much popular, why not? People will vote for you and you remain in the office.
Yeah, if you have been in office for so long,
yes,
that means you had a lot of confidence.
yes, in
to have
yourself,
voted.
yes,
Yeah.
in yourself. So if people voted for you or vote for you for the 4th term, we don't have any problem. The union has no problem. Member has no problem. What we are saying is that let us hold down the democratic institution as trade union organization and follow the constitution of the union.
All right, so I will ask that when did all these issues start?
Thank you very much. All these issues started since last year, where we are hearing this and this. Yeah, there was a NEC last year. Some group of people, then not everybody understand the constitution. Some believe whatever passed at the NEC is binding. But you know the constitution is superior to every other organs of the union, because it is the constitution that is the norm of every organization. That you can decide to call 2-3 people, give them money, say whatever they want to say. But as long as that thing did not align with the provision of that constitution, is null and void. So last year there was a NEC who said we give you 2 years, and some member agreed and said no, you can't do this because you didn't have the power. They wrote to Federal Ministry of Labor, wrote to NLC, NLC, and NLC said no, the organ that called that in did not have the constitutional power. They came back again and tried to do the same thing. So members went to court. They went to court in I think around between June to July. And in August precisely, I think 12 or 13, there was a perpetual injunction that said no, you cannot hold this conference, because they went there for 3 different interpretations. One, the interpretation of the constitutions, that by the virtues of the constitution, did anybody have power to contest beyond this tenure? 2, that if sequence of election is in November, and by way of crook or omission, you are able to extend from that November to another month, does that change the frequency of the election? If it is so, then they are staying in office from January, because if you check January to January, it becomes 12 years, 12 months. So from that January now up to this year, they are staying in office is illegal. That is the view of the majority of the members.
All right, now you talked about a court ruling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's been a court ruling.
Yeah.
And what exactly did the court ruling say? And was that court ruling obeyed by that the union, union itself, or the presiding president?
Thank you, ma'am. There was court ruling on 2 issues. And 2 issues are, one, that the emergency delegate conference slated for 21st of August 2020 must not hold. That was the ruling of the court. Number 2, the court ruled that extension of office via emergency delegate conference is illegal and is alien to the Constitution. But they went ahead to hold that emergency delegate conference.
On what date?
On the 21st. 21st, because they conducted that conference at the wee hour of the night.
All right, the court ruling was on the 19th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the conference held
2021, yes.
Okay.
The court restrained them from holding that conference, but they ignored the court ruling and the conference was held.
All right, so what is the stand now? What's the stand now?
Yeah, like we said, we are still waiting for the court to resume, because court is on vacation. We have instructed our lawyer to follow the case up and until justice is done to every worker.
All right. Your organization, that's the National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees, is under NLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what is the position of NLC in all this? Because they are the organ overseeing your union also.
Yes.
All right. So what's NLC's part in this?
What we can say about this is that we forward everything to NLC. For example, the court ruling, I forwarded to the NLC General Secretary. I forwarded to NLC President. And they saw it. I forwarded to Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and they saw it. And that was why the Federal Ministry of Labour could not attend that emergency conference because they said they saw it and they saw it as illegal if they attend, so they have to stay away from coming. But the NSC came. If only the president himself, the president of the Congress, championed the conference, the legal conference. So that is where we are at present. And I believe that the NSC is supposed to be a good arbiter. They're supposed to come in between what is settled in the matter amicably instead of go to a side. That is it.
All right, so is your group that are here today, should I call you the aggrieved members? Is it right for me to call you the aggrieved members of the union now?
Yeah, we are the majority. We are the majority, like we said earlier, about 20 to 25 branches has passed vote of no confidence on that leadership.
That's talking about Comrade Latif Oyeleko.
Yes,
okay.
About 25 branches has passed vote of no confidence on him.
All right, so this is someone you elected for 3 times consecutively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's talk about his person. Why did he fall out with other members of the union?
The issue there is this, that the Constitution, it has been in office for long. He has mixed with people. He knows everyone.
Maybe he has read people's body language.
You understand?
Now people are not supporting him anymore.
Now, what is this? No matter what, in every society, even a crazy man has backup. A crazy man will have a backup, no matter what. Somebody will say, what a pity. You understand? So what we are saying here is that now he has stayed in the office for long, for 3 terms of 4 years each. He was a deputy president for 4 years. So with 12 years, that is 16 years. So he has mixed with a lot of people, with a lot of authorities. He knows every nook and crannies of the country and people in the country. You understand? So, but what people are saying is that they are not saying that he should not continue in the office. What people are saying is that let us follow the constitution of the union.
The correct process.
Yes, the process of election. Let us go and face election. If you still have the mind of continue in the office as the president of the union, why not take a form and then fill a form, contest? If you win, where people will support you, simple as ABC. That's it. Right. Nobody is saying you should not contest. Nobody is
what I'm saying is, why the fallout? Is it issues of misappropriation of funds? Is it issues of bad leadership? What's behind the fallout?
If you have to look at these issues on ground, we have to look at both the elective side of it and then the administrative side of it. What has workers gained from the beginning? What has workers gained from the beginning? In terms of education, training, it's not there. When we go for NJIC, National Joint Industrial Council, that is, we do it biannually. For every employers, we come together, we negotiate, and the workers in the industry will get their own NJIC 20%. How many years has the workers in food and beverage industry got their NJIC agreement? How many years? Now, those who have served the union for years as workers of the organization, as appointed officers of the organization, they have served the union for long, for 20, 25, 30 years. Now, when they leave, some died in active service, some have left the organization. Often, I'm talking to you now, they have not get their benefit. And we are the ones championing the industries to pay the exit benefit of industries. Those who retired, those who died in service, and so on and so forth, we champion it. We give legal backings to them. But in our own industry, it was not so. Till I'm talking to you now, some of them, or most of them, has not got their benefit. Even those who have died.
All right, you seem to have something to
you know, when you say for him, we voted it 3 times. He's my friend, a very good one at that. But like we said, when you advise your friend that this path you are towing is not the right path, and you become his enemy, and because I have a name that I have to protect, that whatever it is, because you are my friend, if you are doing wrong, I will tell you. Let me tell you little about him. In our industry today, retirement age is 60. Because he has served 12 years.
16 years in all.
Yes.
As a leader.
As a leader.
Yes.
Then in our industry, which is the food and beverage, retirement age is 60. Immediately he clocked 60, he went to his organization to inflate the retirement age from 60 to 63 for him to continue to remain in the office. It's the only organization among us that is having 63. You understand? What we are saying, you are our leader, we have supported you, you have done well in some part. We cannot say he didn't do well. He have done well in some part. But let him take the part of honor. The same constitution that brought you to power, follow the same constitution. We don't have issue.
Well, this says a lot about, like Banji was saying before he left the set, that we need to depict the true picture of democracy, especially when it comes to elections. Now, this is a union, that's NLC, that continues to ask and tell the people that we need to do things right. Now, why is the union not getting it right, getting this election right at this level? It's quite worrying for me to see that this kind of thing is going on. So how will it be handled now?
I'm worried also. As you are worried, I'm worried. And every one of us are worried. Because we are a democratic institution. We're supposed to set the pace. We're supposed to set the pace. Because we are agitators for good things, for workers in the industry. So, and those who are to set the pace, if they are not setting the pace, if they are not following the due process, if they are not bending from the constitution of the union, then what do we say? I think the best thing is we believe that the NSC is supposed to be a good arbiter. Just stay at the middle. We are the children. We are affiliates of the Nigerian Labour Congress. They are the umbrella of every industrial union. And we believe that they should not be one-sided. The only thing they have to do is, okay, what is the problem? Okay, let us solve the problem and make it simple as ABC. And that is what we think we should do in the industry.
All right, has there been any issue like this that you know of in any of the other unions?
Of course.
And how was it handled?
Of course.
Or is this one...
you know, they said the foundation of everything matter. Our current NLC president, even his own election, was factionalized. When you have the Nigerian Labour Congress, you have the United Labour Congress. Today we have, even in the local government, Nuge, we have two presidents too. So you understand. So when they held, the NLC itself need to sit down and say, what is happening during our time? The life of Oshomole, the life of Abdul Umar, we don't have crisis in those unions because they stand firm for the truth. As and Simone, I believe some of the past presidents will be regretted because if you form a foundation, you build a house, you believe that house should be solid always. And that house should continue to follow the principles of the labor leaders who stand by the truth no matter the cost. Today, what we are saying, nobody is saying this man cannot contest. What we said, simply contest. If you win, every one of us will support you. And sometimes when you talk, they say they have the majority. How do you determine majority without voting? You can only get majority through the voting. You can only get majority through the voting, and the voters can't. Today, if you go to Edo PDP, he will tell you we have the majority, APC, until election.
Until election.
It is the election will determine who has the majority.
All right, now you have an interim exco that's on ground now, and I know you are part of that interim exco. Are you part of it? Okay, no, not to worry. So how popular is this interim exco? And how did it emerge anyway? So is it not still a matter of breaking the law or doing what is wrong?
It's not breaking the law.
Right.
The issue is that, you know, after the court ruling, some go flouted the law. They flouted the ruling of the National Industrial Court. And some branches came together. Many branches came together, and they passed a vote of no confidence on the current leadership. And you cannot allow the office to remain vacant. So there should be need for some people, some officers to emerge as in acting position, pending when the proper election will be conducted and such offices will be democratically fair. That is where we are present.
All right, these interim exco, do they have the power to actually fix a date for the conference or election now? Do they have the power?
Yeah, like we said, we are still pursuing they are still pursuing the court case. We keep faith on the court, but in between that, the workers of this union, the branches met and said, we should please don't allow this union to die. We have people of honor, people with integrity. The secretariat is being governed by the general secretary, is the chief executive of that side. And they met with the general secretary. We have letters of those vote of no confidence, about 25 of them. And they call upon me to come and lead this struggle, pending the determination of the case, so that we can meet with the Federal Ministry of Labour and other agencies of the union to see how this union will be established from crisis.
All right. We still have some other members of the union who also want to talk.
Yeah.
So I'll have to let you go off the set to have two other people come on the program to also, well, tell us about their feeling on this issue. I don't want to call it grievance. Let's just call it feeling on this issue. So we've been talking with Comrade Bamidele Busari, the General Secretary, and also Comrade Peter Onoja, the National Signing Trustee of the National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming.
God bless you.
All right, so we'll take a quick break and then return with two other members of the union. All right, thanks for still being there. It's a very interesting discussion this morning because we need to take our focus, like we said, from federal, state, local government election issues and look at how these unions that are actually looking out for the electorate are actually doing or faring when it comes to issues of elections. Okay, so I'm being joined again now by Comrade Abadan Amechi, a member of the union. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, and also Comrade Abiodun Philip is a state chairman Ogun, and then also the acting national treasurer of the union. Welcome, sir. All right, so let me start from Mr. Amechi, and you've listened to our discussions. Now, where would you want to take your own angle from? Your feeling on this issue?
Yeah, we are not happy because the labor movement in this country over the years has led the civil society and the working masses against some perceived actions of government that we think are not right. And if we, even under military, labor movement was the only institution that was still democratic. And that was why they had the moral muscle to be able to come out to say, we want to fight the military government and make sure that democracy was entrenched. And we saw that in 1999 came to pass. So it will be worrisome for some of us within that movement to see the labor movement regressing into something we all stood up against. The court ruled on the 19th of this month, National Industrial Court, a court of competent jurisdiction, ruled that the emergency delegate conference must not hold because the processes that were enshrined in the Constitution for the convocation of the conference were not met. And in court that very day, the General Secretary, Comrade Busari, was in court, and the judge handed over the judgment to him and said, go and make sure that this judgment is complied with. The lawyers of the Comrade were also in court, and they were there. Two of them were there in court till the judgment was delivered, and so they cannot say they are not aware. The judgment was given to us that very day, and we forwarded it to the ministry, the Register of Trade Union, the Director of Trade Union Services, and Comrade Busari told us that he sent a soft copy of it to the NLC President, the General Secretary of the Labour Congress. It's so unfortunate that Comrade Ayuba Waba, the President of the Congress, the man who is supposed to be the father of everybody, had to take side. He led the union in the wee hours of 24th to organize a delegate conference or emergency delegate conference that lasted for about 1 hour 30 minutes between 12 midnight to 1:30 a.m. And we are like, we have never had it this bad. You understand? Yeah. It's so bad.
All right, let's hear from Comrade Abiodun Philip now.
Thank you.
Mr. Comrade Abi.
Thank you.
All right, so let's hear your view.
I want to appreciate you for this opportunity given to us to also air our view. Let me join my colleague to say it is also worrisome. The labor movement is a democratic institution, and we have said, as unionists, we are not cowards, we are activists. And the moment we begin to realize that processes have been circumvented, processes that brought you to power, are now saying that process needs to be set aside. We are concerned in the sense that we had similar challenges in our union in 2004. It was 2003-2004. It was Comrade Oshiomhole that intervened. He called both parties and said, no, we are together in this labor movement. Let us see a way around this issue. And the problem is, the then president too spent 16 years in power, and he was about elongating his tenure. And Comrade Oshiomhole now told him, you have served enough. Go and look for a successor and plan for election. And the parties adhered to the advice of Comrade Oshiomhole, and an election was conducted. In 2006 again, 2006-07, we had similar issue that brought Oyelekon on board. It was Comrade Abdulwahid Umar. We have similar things because we begin to realize that
that position seems to be very juicy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody wants to let go.
This same Oyelekon led us. He was like a leader to us. He led us, and we challenged the hegemony of the then president that this union is not a bad right. You should also give room for election for people to contest. If you imagine, people will support you. And Comrade Oyelekon contested and won. Since then, we've been with him. And he won in 2000 as the president in 2008 in Nasarawa. In 2012 in Abeokuta, he presented himself for election. He won again. In 2016, he now spoke to us that we should give him this opportunity for third term. That after the third term, he will exit the union. We allowed him unopposed. That's how he enjoyed the third term. When we now begin to hear that, and we have in our mind too, that he will soon be 60. There's no way he can contest. But when we now realize that he went back to his company to manipulate them, in the industry, our retirement age is 60. But I don't know, they moved their retirement age from 60 to 63. We now begin to sense that this man is not willing to go. So the like minds now begin to beam searchlight on him to say, what is this man up to? Before we know, he calls on few people to say, because he's building an hotel, that because of that reason, his tenure should be elongated. And some of us felt, come 2023, if our respected president, President Muhammad Buhari, because of his project, the rail project, if it is not concluded in 2023, will he address Nigerians that because I have not concluded this project, that I want to remain in office? No, the institution is bigger than the person occupying
All right,
the position.
all right. Just because of time, you are a member of the interim ESCO.
Yeah.
Now, what is the ESCO's plan between now and when the court resumes from vacation,
Okay.
in at least managing the crisis in the union?
Yeah. Before these decisions were taken, we also realized that the essence of unionism have been abandoned. Now we begin to build hotel. The primary essence of union is to enhance the well-being of workers and also to collaborate with our employers to ensure that their business flourish. But now it is totally abandoned. Our members are also feeling the pain. Those members now came together and said, no, this man, the core value of unionism has been abandoned, that we should take that responsibility, pilot the affair, and ensure that a proper election is conducted. So that's what we are. And this we have also communicated to our employers.
All right, let's have your final word, Comrade Amici.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just like he has rightly said, if we say, let us all go to sleep, when there are issues in the industry, who goes there to represent workers? Who goes there to argue on their behalf? And that's why they say, okay, let us allow a situation where there will be no leader at all. So you people that will be there, you have to be there pending the outcome of the substantive case that is before the National Industrial Court. And so I don't think we are doing anything longer. It's just that we are trying to fulfill the mandate of the union to ensure that there is no vacuum. Yeah.
All right. So everything is on hold pending court resumption.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being part of our program today. And we wish you all the best in your quest to ensure that democratic process is actually respected in the union. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so we'll be moving on to the second segment of the program today, which is showing you the birthday package of Pastor Faith 50th birthday celebration, which held recently here in Lagos. And then that's our program today. We'll see you again on Wednesday for the midweek edition of the program. So on behalf of myself and Banji Busari, say